This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Monday, December 9th. I'm here with Al, Brandon, Lindsay. I'm Tori. We're all here, so let's get right to it. A volcano in New Zealand unexpectedly erupted. Tourists posted this shocking video showing thick plumes of smoke and ash. At least 5 people have died. A boat that had just left the island picked up some of the 23 people who were rescued. At least 10 people are still missing, according to police, who said there were, quote, no signs of life on the island. I just don't know what you would do if you were visiting and this act of God happened. What do you do?
Right, and some of the tour operators were like going over there and risking their lives to save the people on their tours. Yeah. It's interesting because I just got back from Iceland, and one of the things is you can go into a volcano and they drop you down in there. It's inactive, hasn't erupted in years, but it's one of those things where like you can't control if something does happen. So we have to be careful when we're seeing these natural wonders.
I think you can control it by not going down into the mouth of a volcano.
Bam! But there were people
I control it by being in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes.
But even going on the island, you would have gotten hurt to go on an island that has a volcano.
True.
So Iceland is an island that has volcanoes.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Is the risk worth it? I mean, when you go to see things that are acts of God, whether it's like if you're in a canoe going out to see a whale pod, I mean,
something can happen, right?
You're kind of, but is that worth it to actually get that picture to see something happen? Is it worth it? It's not for me.
To certain people, yes, because there are people out there that are thrill seekers. They love that type of stuff. They feed off it. They get energy from it. But like you're in Cleveland when all this goes down. I'll be in Hampton, Virginia with my grandparents and all this goes down. And there's an active volcano here in 3 hours west of Denver. And people can hike it and all. But they say it's not. But they say it's just like the one in Iceland you're talking about.
Like
it's not supposed. It's dormant, but
and they say that scientists are supposed to be able to tell when these things are going to erupt, but they said that none of the scientists got any clear signs that this was going to happen. The last time it went off was 2001.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we pray for those missing. We really, really do. We have an interesting story, and I want to get their take and your take on this. A church in Southern California has put up a very controversial nativity scene. So let me paint the story. It shows Jesus, Mary, and Joseph as refugees separated by cages. Baby Jesus is also wrapped in a silver foil blanket, much like the cages you see in the immigration people coming across the border. The pastor says it's intended to spark conversation about the treatment of refugees in America. But there is a lot of backlash online, with one person commenting, this is a very sacrilegious display of one of the most beautiful stories in all of Scripture. Others are supportive, commenting, do the world's most famous and worshipped refugees separated in cages makes you uncomfortable, USA? It does? Good. So we have a lot to say here. Let's just talk around the horn. Did you like it? Did you find it disrespectful? Lindsay?
I didn't like it because I think the nativity scene is a Christmas tradition, right? And so I think we go home for the holidays, and everyone has said at this table that you go home and try to avoid politics for a moment. So to put it in people's face and say, look at this, when President Trump ended that policy that separated families last year, it just almost seems like, why are we making the issue on the back of being partisan or political in this moment in the holiday season when everyone's just trying to have a good time with their families?
So it rubbed you the wrong way in that way?
I agree with Lindsay. It's sacrilegious. You know, there are people out there who this scene means so much to them. It's a scene of purity. It's a scene of Christ coming down to the earth to save us, or save us, the people. So when you're disrespecting someone's religion, i.e. Charlie Hebdo, the magazine, when they had the Prophet Muhammad doing some weird things, what happened? The terrorists went and they shot up the magazine place and all.
Yeah, you can't
exactly, but you're opening yourself up to this for interpretation because people think this is disrespectful.
I don't understand how mannequins in cages is more offensive to people than real people in cages.
I agree, Al.
Like, how do you rationalize that? Like, they can't go home for the holidays. They can't just turn on the TV and say, man, I just want to forget about politics. They're in a cage wrapped in tinfoil. And I think we talk around this, we talk about this. This will be the thing that that we have to apologize for on our generation's deathbed? How did this go down on our watch? When our kids, when Elijah's 40, 50 years old, Abraham is that age, when they ask me, what did you do? How did you let this go down? And I say, we just turned off the TV for the holidays so we could get drunk on.
But what are you supposed to do, Al?
You're supposed to be a pastor or a rabbi and teach a lesson. And by doing that, this church.
But that's not going to. Oh, I'm sorry.
But Jesus was a refugee, right?
Yeah.
And couldn't get help and went into a barn. The whole idea is if Jesus was a refugee today, he would be put in a cage if at the U.S. And if you're bothered by this, fantastic. That's the job of the church and the temple, to be the soul of the community.
But are we going to have some real conversations about the fact that there's 800,000 migrants in the country? 700 hours is what it takes per migrant to get their papers properly through. You know, we need immigration reform. No, I don't think kids should be in cages, but I do think that in a church or in a time of when we're celebrating Christmas and Christ and everything, I don't think that right now is the time to be sending that message when we all know that we have an immigration process that's multi-layered.
Can I just argue with you real quick? It's the only time. It's the perfect time. It's the biggest platform about Christ.
So why do you go home on the holidays and not want to talk about politics? Or why have we all said that we don't want to do that? Why then? Because that's exactly why. We kind of want to have a time with family.
I know what you're saying, Tori, and seeing kids in cages, that image, that does rile me up. That does make me glad that they're bringing awareness. But to some people, to some diehard Christians out there, this is extremely disrespectful to their religion.
Well, let us know, all of you different religions. Let us know Facebook, YouTube. Yep. We would love to hear from you. Well, Walmart is apologizing for an ugly Christmas sweater that some say goes too far. This sweater was posted for sale on its website in Canada. It shows a bug-eyed Santa with what appears to be cocaine and the words "Let it snow" written on it. Walmart, in a statement, said these sweaters sold by a third-party seller do not represent Walmart's values and have no place on our website. We have removed these products from our marketplace. Is it funny at all, or is it just too far?
It's a little funny, but I think like this is more for like it's funny, but it's more for like Hot Topic. Walmart is like a family-friendly store, right? I don't know if Hot Topic. I'm not trying to throw them under the bus, but
like Wet Seal.
Yeah, exactly. One of those stores.
But this has happened before. Back in 2016, Walmart had a shirt from a third party say, "I'd rather snort cocaine off of a escort thing." Yes. And they were saying
that, don't have them repeated.
This has happened before, and there's supposed to be certain things when they approve these third-party sellers and they upload an item on the website. There are supposed to be filters to go through for certain languages, and then there's supposed to be a team that goes back and looks at these sort of things. So how do you drop the ball again 3 years later?
I don't know if they dropped the ball. I think there's a market for this.
Yeah.
People are
going to buy this. I mean, look, it's
a meme,
but not the right store though. Walmart is not the right store.
Walmart used to sell guns. Isn't that a lot more harmful than this? And I mean, technically, I'm just. It does just say "Let it snow."
Yeah.
Now, whatever you take from that,
is clearly doing.
I don't know if it's clearly anything.
Another one had Santa with his pants off, talking about like
jingle bells are his genitals.
Thank you.
All right, we don't. Yeah.
Anywho,
I want to keep the show
mixed
going.
messages there.
All right, we'll keep it going.
Walmart.
Now, speaking of shocking video, a TV reporter. This is crazy. She was groped on live TV. Here we go. The video posted to Twitter appears to show a man smacking the reporter in the rear end while she was covering a race for her job. Now, the video has gone viral with more than 8 million views, but it's because of her reaction, I think, that it went viral. She wasn't pleased. She was almost deflated the moment it happened. The reporter commented on the moment saying, "To the man who smacked my butt on live TV this morning, you violated, objectified, and embarrassed me. No woman should ever have to put up with this at work or anywhere. Do better." So my first question is, yeah, if you were a dude and I ran and just grabbed you in a private area, that's how objectifying it feels. But her reaction is what every woman has felt when you get grasped. She just deflates. Look at that. Just that.
I look at this and it just looks like no matter what you do, no matter how accomplished you get, I think about, and Lindsay, you've been in this business a while, I think about the people that came up in this business, you know, being an intern, getting coffee, working terrible shifts, you know, to eventually get to be on air like you've always wanted. And that smack to her rear end, just reminded her that she's still just a chick to that guy. And she's not.
That's it.
She's just a piece of meat. She's not an accomplished reporter that's moving up to eventually cover whatever she wants to cover.
She's not seen as accomplished. She's only seen as a piece of meat.
And the biggest thing that bothered me, having been a reporter for so long, is that you're going to have people that are animated behind you and doing all these things, but he kind of took away a lot of her power. And you're taught as a reporter not to break stride, especially when you're doing a live hit, right? So she kept going, and you saw it in her face. A lot of women connected with that face that she made.
She just dropped.
And you know, it sucks that she had to go through this. And he, you know, the race said that they're going to ban him and not allow him to run again. But I think that further action needs to go forward to make sure that he doesn't assault anybody else again, because really that's what it was.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, we want to move on. Today we are honoring and remembering Carol Spinney. He died yesterday at 85. You might not know him, but for nearly half a century, he played the beloved Sesame Street characters of Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch. His death was announced by Sesame Workshop, and he will be remembered by generations who were raised watching him and his characters. Big Bird taught me a lot about life. Oscar the Grouch, he said he didn't know what voice to do, and as he was driving to the station for the first show, his cab driver was like, "What's going on, Mac?" And he goes, "That's Oscar the Grouch." So it was his taxi driver that brought him over to the studio the first day. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, and he did it for 50 years. You know, he was found by Jim Henson himself, the guy who created the Muppets. So he has a really cool story, and he always talks about how the lessons of being Big Bird and teaching kids things like bullying really impacted him, and that was his legacy. So
it's amazing.
And when I think of iconic voices, I think Homer Simpson, and I also think Big Bird. You know, they're the same. You know?
They're both yellow.
Ooh, thanks, Tori.
And just past you.
Nothing gets
Like at the beginning of the show, she was like, "Brendan, Al, Lindsay, we're all here."
Yeah,
It's like, there you go, Tori. Observation, girl.
Get it
it's good when everybody's here.
It is good. It's good to be back. DBL is live and coming up. Ian Somerhalder is most famous for playing a vampire on TV. So why is he starring in another vampire series? He gives us the scoop in today's Chatting with the Stars. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Steve Harvey made another big oops at the Miss Universe pageant. So we gotta ask, is it finally time for these beauty contests to go? Your comments coming up next.
Well, hi there, DBL Nation. Happy Monday. Thanks for joining us today on Daily Blast Live. We are happy to have you here. Let us know how your weekend was, what you did over the weekend. Are you celebrating the holidays in any way? Let us know. Let's go to the desk and see what Lindsay's chatting about. Lindsay, what's up here?
We're about to talk about the pageant and Steve Harvey making another mistake. You know, he made the first one in 2015. But we want to know, do you guys believe it?
No, it's a setup.
It just seems like a little bit of a... Because Steve Harvey might be a good actor, but I don't know if the woman was, right? And I didn't believe her. And Steve Harvey, I didn't believe if he genuinely was upset that they set him up and put the wrong answer in the prompter. I think people would tend to be a little bit more upset than he was. He's like, oh, second time. I don't know. But maybe he messed up again. I don't know. Yeah, she gave it away.
I don't want to give away, you know, what we're going to be talking about, what my thoughts are on it, because we're going to keep the conversation to, do we feel as though pageants should be banned or should be done? So I'm going to hold that. I want you guys to write in right now so we can continue to read these DBL take, hashtag DBL take, so we can read it.
Let us know.
Really quick,
Thanks, buddy.
I'm just going to say no, and I'll go into it why I say no when we get on the show, but come on, we can't keep taking everything away just because, oh, this is sexist, oh, this is like, come on, man. There, like Al said about the sweater, there's an audience out there for everything.
The market dictates.
we were supposed to chime in
the
here.
market, right? I get made fun of every day because I used to say the hand in the invisible hand. And he always says the same thing, but all that means it's an Adam Locke economic theory of the market is an invisible hand and it rules by itself. Stop. So when you say the market is its own thing, that's what I meant by the hand in the invisible hand.
Please come back.
XOXO said they love your hair and your look today, Tori.
Really?
I like the red.
DBL Nation.
Welcome back to DBL. And although fewer people are tuning into pageants, Miss Universe aired last night and it had us talking. Congratulations to Miss South Africa, Zuzi Bini Tunzi, who was crowned, making her the 4th black major pageant title holder this year. So Miss USA, Miss Teen USA, Miss America, and Miss Universe are now all African American. Awesome.
That's amazing.
Isn't that, okay, I just had to get that out. But what more people seem to be, black, not African American, black, you're right. But what more people seem to be talking about is another mix-up for host Steve Harvey. He announced Miss Philippines as the winner of the costume contest, but joining him on stage was Miss Malaysia. Take a look.
Yes.
It's not Philippines, it's Malaysia.
Okay, well, let me explain something to you. I just read that in the teleprompter. Y'all gonna quit doing this to me. I can read, it said now, they trying to fix it now. See, this is what they did to me back in 2015.
Yeah.
We don't know if we believe that.
I don't think I believe that. We have a lot to say. So DBL Nation, is it time to cancel pageant culture? And what's up with Steve Harvey? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Ken from Twitter says, Miss Universe is my favorite show to watch.
Whoa.
The women are drop dead gorgeous. Why would you cancel this? And listen, I don't think we should cancel it. I'm happy that Miss South Africa won. I think that she stands for a lot of great things. I think that the competition has developed itself. You know, she fights against gender-based discrimination, and so I think it's a good thing.
Thank you, Lindsay. Teresa from Facebook says, this program is truly sexist and should be canceled. The hypocrites of Hollywood have double standards. I'm with Lindsay on this one. Why would we cancel this? You know, it's evolved into just going up there looking at beautiful women to being able to hear what they have to say about immigration, about world policies, that sort of thing. And it's teaching young girls out there to be more than just a pretty face. In a day of Instagram where you can show a body and get all types of likes and act like you're selling fit tea, we're rewarding that, but why not be able to have some sort of stage where we can reward brains, beauty, and all, and just being cool?
Wow.
All right.
Thank you.
Well said.
Whew. Magdalene from Facebook says, this is inspiration for all our girls to aspire to be more. Magdalene, I'll agree with you, and I'll go one step further. I think there's also, as Brandon was saying, there's just a market for people that like to look at attractive people wear fancy clothes. And we see it not just in pageants, we also see it where? On the red carpet. Men, you're not absolved of this either. When they show the NBA players getting off the bus, walking to the locker room, why are they showing that to us? We're pretty sure LeBron's at the game. What are we looking at? We're looking at what he's wearing. People want to see tall, athletic, good-looking people dressed up in clothes. It's been happening since the beginning of time. We're no different. We're not special.
Thanks, Al.
Don't talk about
Look at Brandon. Yeah, he's a gorgeous man.
He is a gorgeous man. Amy from Twitter says, these shows are so outdated. How about we honor women who make a difference in this world rather than focus on their looks? Well, guess what Zuzi Binti... Sorry, I want to get it right. Zuzi Bini Tunzi said, she said, my skin and my hair has never, ever been told I was beautiful because of that. And now I feel beautiful. And if that isn't doing more for dark-skinned little girls out there, I don't know what else is. She spoke about leadership. She spoke about why that's important for females. As a feminist, I know this sounds crazy. I'm really okay with it.
And remember, this isn't the Victoria's Secret fashion show where they're just walking and we're looking at their bodies. These women are actually speaking on things.
I was surprised how eloquent each one was. I mean, really.
And even if you are just looking at their bodies, it's okay. That's what we like to do. Men, the people. What is the thunder from down under? What's that? what questions are they answering?
I've never heard that before.
That's been going in Vegas for 50 years, so knock it off.
All right. Wow. We have Salty Al back on the program.
Not salty.
Today.
Welcome back.
I like it, man.
I'm packed with facts.
Packed with facts. Coming up on DBL, we're chatting with Ian Somerhalder. He's giving us the behind-the-scenes details on his new Netflix show, V Wars, when we come back.
If you're between the age of 55...
I just want to know, DBL Nation, to all the people out there who say that we should get rid of these pageants, the Victoria's Secret show and the Miss America, whatever pageants, if there was a pageant of plus-size women up there, would you watch? I want
I'm
to
sure
know.
there's some kind of competition out there.
Would you show respect to the women, but to make it as big as it is? If there was a Miss Plus Size universe with those same people who say we need to get rid of this,
That's a great question.
would you still show
But I think
support?
somebody plus could possibly win this in the future. You don't understand, like 20 years ago, a black woman with a short haircut like Lupita Nyong'o would never have won this.
True.
So South Africa winning this is a huge
That's
deal.
what I mean, when she was like, my
Yeah, it's a
skin
huge
and
deal.
hair
And
has
that
never
beauty
been
standards
beautiful.
change. You don't have to perm your hair anymore as an African American woman. You don't have to do any of that stuff.
But everyone keeps talking about the beauty standards of it, and you're disrespecting these women when you're just saying the beauty standard. The women are up there talking about things that are current events that are going on in different cultures throughout the universe.
Right.
You know she's going to Oprah's South African leadership school to meet with the girls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lindsay's going too.
Me too.
Are you really?
No. Goals, life goals.
All right, well, good talk, y'all.
Yeah. Awesomeness.
1125. That's 1-800-466-1125.
Somerhalder?
Call now.
Welcome back to DBL. Best known for his roles in Lost and The Vampire Diaries, actor Ian Somerhalder is on TV taking on a different blood-sucking role in V-Wars. Well, co-host Stephanie Jones caught up with Ian in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Ian, thank you for being on Daily Blast Live.
Thank you very much.
You played a vampire on Vampire Diaries, and then you married the gorgeous Nikki Reed, who's a vampire in Twilight, and now you're in V-Wars.
So what do we know so far?
This is a modified virus causing DNA transformations.
So I've got to ask you, have you ever heard of vampirism? Because I think you might have it, darling.
You know, it is an interesting theme in my life. It really is wild. Twilight really was a cultural phenomenon that really paved the way for Vampire Diaries. This is a 5-book series written by a best-selling author. This story deals with these amazing, big, tentpole issues that we're dealing with in society right now, right out of that door. Climate change, borders, racism, disease, fear, politics in the genre of vampires. This is a really kind of wonderful alchemy, I feel, to tell some really dynamic, relevant, sexy, dangerous, and quite controversial stories.
But in V-Wars, this time, you're playing Dr. Luther Swan, and like there's been a rumor, so I need you to clarify this for me, that you turned it down, the role, 3 times.
I thought it could be a career suicide to jump back into this vampire world, but it really spoke to me. I spent 172 episodes as a lead character in Vampire Diaries. The skill sets that I acquired, particularly in this genre, allowed me to parlay that as applied science and as a sort of skill set into V-Wars. I do believe that we had an amazing opportunity to tell a story. It is so relevant, and these stories are so unique. So the perspectives of the show are very authentic, and that is what's so exciting for me.
So I know what it's like to move to another country for work, and you and your family moved to Canada to film V-Wars. So how hard was that with a wife and a 2-year-old and a cat and all the rest of it?
It was like being at home. You know, we packed up a plane and cats, baby, everybody, and brought it out there. It was very much a family affair.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for chatting with us. We're really excited to see V-Wars. It's out on Netflix now. And Ian, thank you so much for coming on DBL.
Thank you.
What a nice guy. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Hi.
Y'all hear them sirens? Oh my God. Yeah, I hear them sirens. I'm the beauty police, guys. It's Jeray for the Slay, and today I'm here to clock all of those beauty things that you guys are doing that are just wrong. Plain old simple. So today, we're going to be talking about only using a makeup wipe to wipe off your face. Bam, we're gonna have an edit right there. Anyways, so when you just use a beauty wipe to wipe your face off, you're really not doing much for your skin, guys. So many gals I know are just going to bed at night and they have those cute little makeup wipes on their bedside and they wipe off their skin and they take off all their full coverage makeup and then they throw that wipe to the side and they think they're done, right? You're wrong. You need to be arrested right now because you're doing a harm to your skin, and we're not gonna do that anymore, guys. So instead, what you should be doing is actually going through and cleansing your skin afterwards. Oh my gosh, how crazy, who would have known that? Me, okay? Now, why do we do this? There's so much dirt and grime left over on our skin after you use a makeup wipe still. So many people don't think so because you have all of those cute little stains on your makeup wipe afterwards. No, 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 honey. That isn't all that's on your skin. There's so much more little different dirts and grimes and pieces of that long wear 24-hour stain makeup that you have on, and that cheek stain too. And don't forget about that Urban Decay lip stain as well. That's all on your skin still, girl. And we have to make sure that we're really taking care of that and getting it off. So go ahead and take your face to that sink, put it all in, and wash your face. Say it with me now. We're gonna wash our face. Yay! Now, maybe you need help finding a cleanser. This is where I come in. If you have dry skin, make sure you're using more of a milk or creamy cleanser. This is gonna be great for you. If you have more oily skin, try out a foam or an oil-based cleanser. Either one could be a little bit better for you. Now, if you have combo skin, good luck. I don't know what to do for it, just kidding. Try out a little bit of everything, and this really goes for any skin type. You gotta try out a little bit of everything to see what's gonna be best for you. Now, until next time, don't be making any more beauty crimes, and we'll see you next Thursday, guys.
A momentous moment in motor history just happened, ushering in the end of driving as we know it, and you probably didn't even know it happened. Let's connect the dots. Sometime in October of this year, someone looking for a ride in Phoenix, Arizona opened an app, requested a ride, and then hopped in a minivan to get to their destination. So why was this so special? No one was behind the wheel. Waymo, which is owned by Google's parent company, is testing its driverless ride-hailing service with plans to expand in 2020. Experts say this could be the tipping point for driverless cars. While plenty of companies are working on autonomous autos, widespread acceptance by the average consumer is probably years away. But this experiment could get the general public a lot more comfortable with letting a computer take the wheel, kind of like a test drive for a somewhat scary future. Connecting the dots, I'm Lauren Tellerico for H-Town Rush.
Welcome back to DBL. We want to share something cool DBL got to be a part of over the weekend. We were in a parade. Watch.
We have all sorts of characters from both Daily Blast Live and 9 News who are with us tonight. Daily Blast Live is the only nationally syndicated daytime show to air live in all time zones coast to coast. And they're doing it all from the KUSA studios in Denver. And they're packed in there with a bunch of our 9 News pals.
Oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever seen this many people even at a Christmas party.
It's Rockin' Steve.
I didn't know this many people actually worked inside the building.
DBL was honored to join, oh, there I am in Erica, was honored to join the 45th annual Parade of Lights in downtown Denver, which was put on partly by our sister station, 9 News. We even got to ride on a float. As you can see, we were on Cloud 9. But the real star of the show, we have to show you this, was this dancing elf. He would not stop. Look at him go. He was definitely bringing all the holiday cheer. And what you don't know is they played the same song 25 times,
gosh.
and he never stopped. I don't want a lot for Christmas.
Hey.
I can't hear that song anymore.
I'm done with that song. It was too much fun. Like me and Lindsay, we jumped off the float, went down, gave high fives to the people in the crowd. That was just one of those blessed moments, like being a part of this show.
Yeah, it was super cool. I was probably the most excited to be there.
Yeah, you were super happy. All right, if you were there, let us know. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.